All right, folks, for those of you online, I'm Dr. Brandi Weekley. I'm the director of the Early Childhood Program. This is our club meeting for February 19th, I think. Yeah, February 19th. So today we're going to talk about PSEA, which is Penn State Educator Association. We're going to start a student chapter, so that's what we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to cover a couple admin things that are fun and informative. We'll talk about the Trying Together dinner, the PAPA and Praxis waiver, which is important for you guys who want to go to four-year programs, and then we'll get into our PSEA content. So the Trying Together dinner is April 30th from 5 to 8 at Heinz Field. I think everybody in our room here is going. Hopefully you guys online will be coming too. I'm really excited. We have enough people who signed up to get 2 tables. So I ordered a second table today, so we'll be able to take 2 tables. Get your cash to me by the end of the week next week. So then that guarantees your spot at the table. It's $10. For those of you guys online, you can mail it to the college. My address is 145 Pavilion Lane, Youngwood, PA 15697. Or you can bring it to my office in 524B. You guys can just give it to me who are here. Some of you guys already have. So for those of you guys online, you guys have already done this who are in the classroom. Just make sure to complete the sign-up sheet, which is on the ECE program D2L page. You can find all the information there. Put your first and last name, whether you're self-driving. My car is already full, so we don't have any more room in my car. If you would like to carpool, you can say yes, and then we'll have folks collaborate and want to carpool together, and then I will mark down once you have paid. So registration's open through March. If you aren't sure that you want to go now and can't commit to the table, so you can continue to register through March, but the tables just sell out quickly, so we needed to get those set up now. The dinner is just for, I think we talked about last club meeting, but for those of you guys online, the dinner is a celebration dinner. So April is Month of the Young Child, and Trying Together is our Macy affiliate. So they put on a celebration dinner, and it really is a celebration. It's really fun. You get to dress up, not super fancy, but you can, no ball gowns or tuxedos, but you can wear cute dresses, jumpers, that type of thing for clothes. You can also bring a guest. Your guest just needs to pay the $10 and sign up on this sheet so we know how many people are going. We still have 4 spots left at the director's table, so we do still have 4 spots for the second table. If we have more folks sign up, we can get a 3rd table. We just need to know ASAP. They haven't announced the keynote speaker, but we'll have a really nice buffet dinner, lots of fun raffle baskets, centerpieces that get raffled off, and then a speaker who is informative but also inspirational, which is really fun. So we get some information, but it also inspires us to go forward in our work in early childhood. So that's the Trying Together dinner. The other technical information I want to share with you guys is this information about the PAPA and Praxis core. Kirsten, you can just keep the thing on the screen. So for those of you guys who are looking at this and online, this is the ECE program website. So this information is all on our program website. If you guys are going into a 4-year educator certification program, so that means you want to teach in elementary education, you have to either take the Praxis or the PAPA to get into a program. They're just a basic skills test. It's reading, writing, and math. If you took the ACT or SAT and scored high enough, that will waive these exams. But if you qualify financially, you can get waivers to pay for the exam. you guys all should check on these waivers. I have all the information here. When you guys go to take the exams, to make it even more complicated than it already is, the praxis is also sometimes called the core. So we call it the praxis, that's what we called it in West Virginia as well. Some folks call it the core. If you hear that, it's the same exam. So it's that reading, writing, and math. So what you need to do to qualify for the praxis waiver is one here. If you meet these eligibility requirements, which y'all can just read, fill out this form, and you need to take it to financial aid here at the college. You can mail it if you're an online student. You will need to put an email on there. You have to use your college email. You can't use a college email because that's how they process and identify that you're actually a student. So there's one for the praxis, and there is one for the PAPA, which also may be called the PECT, Pennsylvania Education Certification Test. So in the 2-year world, we call it the PAPA. In the 4-year world, they call it the PECT. It's the same exam. So there's a waiver for that as well. Same deal. Look at your eligibility on the ECE program website. Complete the form, take it to financial aid here, or to the enrollment center in Founders Hall. That's where you need to take it. And then financial aid will process it for you, send it to these bodies, and then within a couple of weeks you will get notice if you qualify for the voucher. So what you guys need to do is do this around 6 weeks before you want to register to take the test, not before when you want to take the test, so that you get the information back. And then what happens is you will get it's essentially like a coupon code. So then when you go to register for the exam where you would put the credit card information in, you just put the coupon code in. For the PAPA, there is also a retake waiver. So if you do not pass the PAPA or a portion of the PAPA the first time that you take it, you can get a waiver if you qualify for that. So the waiver guidelines are slightly more complicated for the retake, and you can find all of them at the link here. For the retake, I have to sign off on it saying that you are a student in good standing since the state is paying for you to take the test a second time. But make sure to check those out. If you receive PSEA or Pell, you will definitely qualify for these. So make sure to check those out, and you'll save, I think the PAPA is around
They were 90 a piece.
exam. It's about $120, and I think the praxis is it's over $200. So you can save yourself a fair amount of money if you qualify for them. Do you guys have any questions about them, Jess?
I just want to ask, if you're only doing a year at a community college and transferring and doing then 3 years at a 4-year, would you still have to do
Yes.
this?
Yep, any transfer student into a teacher ed program will need to take it. And especially for you, since you may go out of state, the PAPA is for Pennsylvania schools only.
Oh.
So if you want to go to your 4-year in Pennsylvania, take the PAPA. If you're thinking maybe you want to go back out to California, you should take the praxis. Because it is a nationally accepted exam. That's why it's a little more expensive too. So the PAPA is in-state, sort of funded by the state has worked it out. So yeah, you'll still have to take it as a transfer student into any education program. Good question, Liz?
So if your SAT or ACT scores are like high enough that you don't have to take them, do you have to like do any kind of form or something saying that they are, or like when you apply to the college they see those scores?
When you apply to the college, they will just see those scores. So
Okay.
you'll have to provide those scores to them, your results from the ACT and the SAT, but they will see them. So just if you took the ACT or the SAT and you scored high enough, you may not need to take these. So you just provide those scores to the program, and then they say, and you actually, for Pennsylvania, there are links I have in this introduction here. This link that tells you the PAPA and praxis scores that you need also has the SAT and ACT scores scores that you need to get into programs in Pennsylvania. Other states may be different, but somewhere on the schools, they should say, if you scored this on an SAT, you don't have to take the Praxis one. Other questions on those? Okay. And now we'll get into our PSEA stuff. So we are going to start a student PSEA chapter. I'm really excited about it because I think we're going to have a lot of opportunities that are provided to us through this program that just as a small club we aren't able to offer. So what I'll talk about here is, it's just a little blurb from PSEA, top 10 reasons to join. We'll talk about what it is, to just guys give you a sense of what that is, the resources. And then Pitt at Greensburg is their PSEA chapters having a teacher learning institute on weekday, which is so fun. So I'll talk a little bit about it, and you guys can still get the discounted registration of $15. I talked to their director yesterday, because we're in late registration now, but she said you guys can still get the $15 registration. So I'll provide in this folder, we can put a link on YouTube. Hi YouTube people, we're going to put the link for the Pitt at Greensburg sign up on the YouTube description for you guys, okay? And I'll talk about that at the end, but it's a really neat opportunity if you guys can go to it. Liz is going to go to Pitt. Are you going to go to the Teacher Learning Institute?
I don't know,
You should.
but I'm already a member of the PSEA.
Yeah.
They forced me to join.
Yes, yeah. Well, we're going to start doing the same thing. I learned from Dr. Marks, so we will be doing the same. All right, so top 10 reasons to join PSEA. Let's see then. And you will see why, Liz, you're forced to join in one moment. So one of the things, you guys gotta leave. Hey, thanks for coming. One of the things that you guys get through PSEA, oh no, you guys should come up here and wave to people as you leave. That would be so fun. Bye, you too. Bye, guys. Is liability insurance. So now, all of you guys know, this is lovely. You have to reapply for liability insurance every semester for every site. Once you join PSEA, we will have you guys, require you to join for a 2-year membership. That will cover liability insurance for you the entire time that you are in school during that 2 years. So you won't have to continue to complete those forms for each site or every semester. We are also going to make it a fee through the college, like UPG has done, so then you can pay for the membership with your financial aid. So that cost can be covered through financial aid. There are lots of scholarships available to you guys as PSEA members. Networking, so there are local conferences like the one at Pitt where you can meet other students, you can meet faculty members, folks who are involved with PSEA at the state level, and there are regional, state, and national conferences that you guys will have opportunities to participate in. There are outreach opportunities, so this is pretty cool. There are lots of things we can do in our community, and there are structures already built through PSEA that will help us to put together community events that we're interested in with a little less legwork on our part as a small school. There are grants that we can apply for as a chapter to support projects for us. So if we want to do a community service project that costs $1,000, we can apply for a grant for part of that money or all of that money. We can also use the grant for things like professional development, recruitment activities for club and for us. So it'll be a nice resource for us. Professional development is one of the things I'm most excited about. So the Pitt Teacher Learning Institute is a really low-cost $15 professional development for you guys. But there's a whole booklet of professional developments that we can just choose from that are already put together where folks can come and do them for us at the school. They have webinars, or if we don't see what we want, we can say, hey, we want to learn about this, and they'll provide the professional development for us. So they already have ones on CAPA and Praxis Prep, so we can do it on anything. Leadership development, so all of those conferences that I talked about, you guys have opportunities to be officers of those events, participate in activities where you can do leadership at those events. So there are a lot of opportunities for you guys to develop those skills as you go into four-year programs and into your fields of practice. You get a multi-year discount for your dues if you pay multiple years at a time, so you guys will benefit from that. You'll get a student rebate, so when you join NEA or PSEA at the state level, once you get your teacher certification, you will get you get refunded $20 for each year you were a student member. So you will essentially make back almost all of the dues that you paid in your first 2 years of being a member once you're a practitioner. And then there are tons of savings for different everything, which I'll show you. So there's lots of savings that you guys can get through the program. Oh, it's still in presentation, but okay. So what is PSEA? Pennsylvania State Educator Association. It is the union for practitioners in education in Pennsylvania. So the college has a PSEA membership for faculty members. It is for teachers in K-12 system, and what we will be starting is the student chapter. So some of the things that PSEA student chapter focuses on is just issues that are current for you guys in the field. So one of the key issues is degrees, not debt, right? You guys don't want debt when you come out of college, which is super important. You're making great decisions doing that now, being in a 2-year school, so that's a really wise financial decision. So some of the other key issues. We can see over here on the left of this screen, ECE implementation, which is Education, Schools, and Secondary Act. So it's what replaced No Child Left Behind. Elementary and Secondary Schools Act, sorry. So it's what replaced No Child Left Behind. So it's our federal law governing education and what we do and don't do, so you can learn about how that's being implemented in schools, because that will definitely impact you guys as practitioners. College affordability and debt services, that's important for you guys. Human and civil rights as issues. How education is funded. So what does it look like for our K-12 system? How does that funding happen? And then a legislative action center, where if you're like Kirsten and you want to get involved in policy or advocacy work, you can contact local legislators, go to the state and federal folks to talk about what you feel like is important for education and for yourselves. So PSEA provides information for you guys on those issues that you guys talk about, right? These come from you guys as students, and also provides ways for you guys to engage with these issues that are important for you. Liability insurance we already talked about. They have an e-newsletter that just updates, I think it's monthly or every few months, on things that are happening. So this photo is from the Rock Solid Educators Conference that is at Slippery Rock every year. So that's one of the local conferences that we would have an opportunity to go to as PSEA members. So similar to Pitt's Teacher Learning Institute, 80 students went to this, so we see a fairly local college participating here. And then, so that would be Professional Development Conference. There's their keynote speaker. These are IUP students, so they did a community service project where they painted a mural on a blank wall at an elementary school, which is super fun. So that's another local school that we could partner with and that is doing work as a PSEA chapter.
We can also steal their idea, because I would love to do an elementary mural sometime.